Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is a slightly late, but still enjoyable observation of the most recent IGN information on Bloodborne. It is of course another Bloodborne boss, and it is the reveal of the Dark Boss, it's not even the right word, Darkbeast boss, and his name is Paarl. He's called Paarl, and what I'm going to do here, folks, because I don't want to risk any kind of nonsense with IGN, and they do have exclusivity on this footage, I'm just going to give you a link in the description, and we can sync up the video together, and we can watch it, we can observe it, and I can share some of my thoughts on it, because a lot of people have been asking what I think, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I'm moving over to the video now. It is the IGN one, and I'm going to do a countdown from 3, and then I'm going to press play. So 3, 2, 1, and play. So there is the obligatory first from IGN. Don't do drugs, children. And then we have Yasuhiro Kitao, or however you say that name. He looks like a Japanese Skrillex, doesn't he, this dude? He's a baller. And here we are. So the ever reminiscent door opening, which really gets me excited, because this game is so close now, you can taste it. Up in the top right, you can see, did he just get an additional something? An additional eyeball for some reason that's below his things? Because as he opened the door, he seemed to get from 30 to 31. But this is the Darkbeast Paarl. This thing looks amazing. Visually, the first thing that strikes me here is the frame rate. The frame rate seems to be holding up. There's a shit ton of particle effects happening. There is a shit ton of stuff happening. All of this is animating. This is a big room. This is a big boss. There's lighting effects. It looks great. However, let's watch it a little bit. So there's his AoE when you're close to him, to punish you and make you get away from him after you get a couple of hits and you get out of there. He stalks forward looking rather animalistic. He's got his standard 1 to 2 punch combos when he gets closer, much like most of the dragons in the Souls games, much like a lot of the bigger enemies. He's got a very long sweeping swipe, and the camera's a piece of shit when you're locked on because it's a Souls game, and even though it's Bloodborne, and we come to understand this. Here he gets massively comboed, and the thing that I noticed most was just how little damage it did. So for the people that are worried that this game's going to kick your ass without a shield, I think you're going to be surprised that you can still manage. The hit detection looks weird. There's a lot of... They're both swinging at each other, they both are missing each other, and times they're hitting when they shouldn't be hitting. It's kind of interesting with that. Stalks him forward, he goes up against a wall, the camera's not helping. Gets a couple of quick swings in, dodges away. There's the AoE. Get out! What were you doing, bro? Tried to charge the R2, which I'm really excited to do, because Lords of the Fallen really made me like the notion of charge attacks. This was interesting. I don't think that's the best case of play against a boss that's as quick as this, because this thing moves very fast. It gives you openings, but it moves quickly for something of its size. It's probably going to be a combination of mixing in the lock-on with the non-lock-on just to get the roll, because I think the roll is going to be much more helpful here than the kind of stylish dash that he does, just to capitalise on those openings. And here comes another big thing. That is some kind of ground slam, and this is his AoE. So, as far as bosses go, I think it's very simplistic. I think it's very standard. And personally, I would have liked to have seen something different, because we've already seen something that looks a hell of a lot like this in the Cleric Beast, only not electrical. And its moveset is almost very reminiscent of the creature that we've already seen. So, and then there's that. So at that point, I'd gone from being excited to being, yeah, it looks like a standard kind of boss. You get the "you died," which doesn't look as nice as I hope it looks in the final game. And then it hits him through a pillar. So I don't know if you like me. I hope you are in some ways, because then we have an affinity and you'll agree. But the one thing I will never ever understand is why in these games they allow the enemies to do that, and why they allow our character to do that. I do not want to hit things through geometry. I don't. It's fun when you can, and it's very silly sometimes, but there has to be something about it. Like, can you imagine? Just imagine this. That creature just then is at, what, 1/3 of its life. He's about to die. It's a super tense moment. It does that jump attack. It goes to claw him, and it hits the pillar, and it goes into a stunned animation. He goes in, and he finishes it off with a critical. Imagine how cool that would be if you could use the environment to bait these creatures into stunning themselves. And I'm not asking that every boss runs into walls and acts like an idiot for a minute so you can beat it up. I'm just saying, if we were to hit something normally in these games, we would bounce off and there would be a few seconds where we can't do anything because our character's too busy amazed by the concept of metal ringing off of stone. And then the enemies generally take advantage, you get a nasty counter hit, and you're like, God damn it, this is annoying. But just imagine if they used that as some kind of mechanic. They'd have to think about everything they put in the boss rooms, and the boss rooms that they chose to be those kind of rooms, because all of it would be a strategy, and not only then would it be a case of understanding how the creature moves, but it could also be an extra element of strategy where you're dictating where he moves, and you're making him go somewhere you know you have the advantage. And then they could even have a higher level of AI that appreciates that it can't be so aggressive, because if it does, it's going to get punished. And I have no idea if any of this is possible, but it doesn't sound that far-fetched to me. And I'm hoping that that's one of the earlier bosses, like that's the equivalent of maybe a Capra demon or a Taurus demon or an Asylum demon, and it's just something in there that's quite simple, keeping it, you know, nice and fancy looking but very simplistic gameplay wise. And of course you're going to get a few hits that you really shouldn't have because of your dog. We don't give a fuck about geometry. But what do your guys think? Are you impressed by it? Do you think it looks like a piece of shit? Are you these people that are berating every Bloodborne video and disliking them and saying how it looks like a PS2 game and how every PS4 game is a flop and all this nonsense, fanboyism and everything? Or do you legitimately think that, you know, your body's ready, your anus is ready, and you can't wait to get coated in blood as the nightly hunts begin? So thank you for watching. You take care now.